Have you ever sat through a baseball inning so long it felt like you aged a year? I'm talking about the innings that didn't just drag, they hit pause on reality. The kind that felt like they had overtime inside extra innings, inside a time loop. We're talking innings so long, you could have microwaved a turkey, taken a nap, and still come back to see batters at the plate. Games where pitchers looked like they aged 5 years between outs. Announcers started freestyling just to fill the dead air. And fans, well, they started questioning their life choices. Some were offensive fireworks, others were defensive disasters, but all of them had one thing in common. They felt like they'd never end. So grab a seat, preferably a comfy one, because we're counting down the longest, most chaotic innings in MLB history since 2000. And to kick things off, let's go back to 2003. When the Red Sox basically broke baseball before the first out. Number 1, June 27, 2003, Red Sox versus Marlins. Bottom of the first. The game had just started, and the Marlins were already in hell. It was the bottom of the first at Fenway Park, and the Red Sox turned it into a baseball apocalypse. Before the Marlins could record a single out, Boston had scored 10 runs. By the time the dust settled, it was 14 runs, 91 pitches, and nearly 50 straight minutes of chaos. Johnny Damon hit 3 times in the same inning. Single, double, single, like he was stuck in a cheat code. The announcers sounded like they were glitching, calling his name like a broken record. This was the kind of inning where pitchers started warming up their replacements before they even threw a pitch. The Marlins burned through 3 arms trying to survive the carnage, and still came out looking like they played a scrimmage against a tank. Fenway wasn't a ballpark that night. It was a crime scene, and if you think that was bad, wait until you see what the Indians did to the Yankees in 2009. A second inning explosion so violent it left Yankee Stadium asking for a refund. Number 2, April 18, 2009, Indians at Yankees, top of the second. This one wasn't just an inning, it was a full-blown demolition job. Top of the second, and the Cleveland Indians basically said, "Hey Yankees, nice ballpark. Be a shame if we burned it down." In just one frame, they scored 14 runs. Yep, 14. The biggest single inning beatdown ever dropped on Yankee Stadium. And just like that, the Bronx turned into a therapy session. The inning featured 13 hits, 4 walks, and enough trauma to make every Yankee pitcher question their career. It got so bad that Cleveland's bullpen probably started icing mid-inning just from standing too long. That's how cursed the vibes were. You know it's a disaster when the catcher legging out triples like he's Ricky Henderson. The game took nearly 4 hours, and this one inning was a major reason why. No official clock on it, but estimates put the second inning at around 35 to 45 minutes of non-stop pain. Yankees fans came expecting a game. What they got was a live reenactment of their worst nightmares. And just when you thought it couldn't get longer, along came 2004, when the Tigers and Rangers dropped 18 runs in one inning and practically broke the laws of time. Number 3, May 8, 2004, Rangers versus Tigers, 5th inning. Now, let's talk about the inning that forgot time exists. You ever been stuck in traffic so long it feels like you aged a decade? That was the 5th inning of this game, except instead of honking cars, it was baseballs flying all over the field like dodgeballs. It was the Tigers versus the Rangers game that had 18 combined runs and 100 plus pitches, and a total inning time of 68 minutes. Officially the longest inning in MLB history by duration. This wasn't just a slugfest, it was a timeline anomaly. The Rangers scored 10, the Tigers scored 8. Pitchers were getting lit up faster than birthday candles. Fielders looked like they were running through molasses. Even the scoreboard operator had to be subbed out for fatigue. At one point, it genuinely felt like this inning would never end. Rangers manager Buck Showalter probably aged 5 years in real time. You know it's serious when broadcasters start talking about lunch plans mid-inning. That inning was an hour-long roller coaster, but it turns out the Braves once dropped so many runs in one frame, they made 2020 feel like a simulation glitch. Number 4, September 9th, 2020, Braves versus Marlins, 2nd inning. The Braves didn't just break baseball that night, they grabbed the controller and unplugged it. 2nd inning, Braves versus Marlins, and Atlanta decided to put on a home run derby during a real game. They dropped 11 runs in just that inning, part of a record-setting 29-run night, the most by any National League team in the modern era. Think about that 11 runs in a single frame, with balls flying out for homers, walks piling up like unread emails, errors spreading like a glitch in the Matrix, and the Marlins dugout staring in stunned silence like they were trapped in a live-action horror film they couldn't escape. No official stopwatch on the inning, but based on play-by-plays and pace, it clocked in at roughly 35 to 40 minutes of straight punishment. And the wildest part is that the Braves were still going easy compared to what they probably could have done. That inning was just their warm-up. Now, if that felt like overkill, wait until you see what the Cardinals did to the Brewers in 2021, when one weird 5th inning dragged on like a YouTube ad you can't skip. Number 5, September 20th, 2021, Cardinals versus Brewers, 5th inning. This is definitely baseball's version of buffering. You know those innings where everything slows down? This one felt like baseball hit lag mode. It was the 5th inning in Milwaukee, Cardinals versus Brewers, and out of nowhere came chaos. Not the flashy kind with homers flying or fans streaking across the field, but the slow, grinding, stop-and-go kind of madness where every pitch felt like buffering, every at-bat dragged like a software update, and the entire inning played out like baseball stuck in lag mode. There were long at-bats, pitching changes, multiple reviews, a bang-bang play at third, and a challenge on what felt like a routine grounder. Throw in 2 mound visits, a delay for a glove issue, and what you get is an inning that dragged on for about 35 to 40 minutes, and only a couple of runs to show for it. This wasn't an explosion. This was a slow bleed, the kind of inning that makes fans look around like, wait, is it still the 5th? Well, that was one slow inning, but the next one featured fireworks, an inside-the-park grand slam, and one of the most jaw-dropping innings Fenway's ever seen. Number 6, July 22, 2022, Blue Jays vs. Red Sox 3rd inning. Fenway Park has seen its fair share of chaos, but nothing quite like this inning, where the Red Sox's defense fell apart harder than your Wi-Fi during a Zoom call. It was the 3rd inning, and the Blue Jays exploded for 9 runs, including an inside-the-park grand slam by Ramel Tapia. Yep, you read that right. Tapia lofted a routine fly to left, and Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran just lost it in the lights. The ball dropped, skipped to the wall, and Tapia turned into Sonic the Hedgehog, rounding the bases. By the time Boston figured out what was happening, it was already too late. The inning snowballed from bad to worse, with errors, walks, and wild pitches turning Fenway into a blooper reel. Estimated time, 30 to 35 minutes of pure defensive disaster. No doubt this was wild. So yeah, baseball might be a slow game until one inning turns into a full-blown Netflix special with commercial breaks, character arcs, and emotional trauma. If you love watching innings that feel longer than your last relationship, smash that like button, subscribe for more baseball chaos, and drop your longest feeling inning ever in the comments, especially if you were stuck watching it live. And if this felt like time travel in cleats, don't miss our video on MLB cheaters who almost got away with it. Same madness, just more sneaky.